Who's live? Live! Hello everybody, welcome to Mad Red United. I'm Adam, welcome to this Sunday's live stream. A little bit different. As always, when we do get an international break, I do like to throw it over to you guys, all the subscribers, everyone. Put a topic out there and let you go at it. And the topic, well, is on everyone's lips right now. We've obviously had some international football to get our teeth into. We've let the dust settle from the chaos that has been United over the last few weeks, especially last week where it exploded. But where are we at right now? Everyone's obviously settled down, sat back, watched everything over again, had time to think, and little rumours are coming out, little noises are coming out here and there. So I thought I'd just do a Q&A. Hit me with your questions, where are you at, people, with what is going on right now at United. I've put it out there, the title of it is How Do You Fix Manchester United Right Now? How is it possible? I was about a minute late because I was just having a bit of a Twitter debate with an absolute idiot on Twitter, trying to tell me that everything will be okay without European football for Manchester United and the sponsorship deals. Absolute lemon. Comparing United to City, Chelsea, Liverpool, who've not had European football at certain stages. And the total counteracting answer and reply to that is, well, they haven't got owners like United have, and they haven't got a debt that the owners have put on the club that United have. So, where do we start? A few people have just gone straight into it from my Instagram, from my Twitter, like I said, and hit me with the first one, which is the only way we get out of this is if we spend big on big players. For me, big players, what is a big player now? What are we classing as a big player at United right now, or for United to bring in, I should say. The Ronaldos and Messis, they're on another stratosphere, another level. Then you've got everyone below that. They're probably linked with the likes of Real Madrid and talking Eden Hazard's. You've got Neymar's, that sort of Mbappe sort of quality players. And then one step down from that, I think he's probably pushing it just about where United should be slotting in terms of players that we can realistically get in at the club. So, setting this one off with what players can possibly change this around. Questions there, a lot of you have actually come in with it. No one's come in with any players yet. So, where are we at? What are we at? Who is available, let's say in January, because I think January is a massive transfer window for United. Although, again, we're hearing noises coming out of United that they're not going to panic buy, they're not going to be rushed into any transfers or any sort of panic buys over January, which is, well, it's just a cover-up for what my biggest fear was and what I said was a few weeks ago, that we will not be spending any money in January because the Glazers are just keeping all the money back. Ed Woodward's keeping it back for the inevitability and strong, massive possibility actually that we're not going to be having European football next season at all. No European football, I mean Europa League or Champions League. So you can imagine the revenues that we're going to miss from match days, the money that them competitions bring for finishing in certain positions alone on its own. And then obviously sponsorships that come in with that as well. It all coincides to take a massive dip. And I do think that the money that we did recoup for certain players' wages we've saved, contracts, i.e. obviously Smalling, Valencia, Herrera, Fellaini, Lukaku himself, Sanchez. There's a lot of money being saved there. You could say around about 100 million in total if you add the Lukaku money to that. Let's not forget Darmian as well. Players like this, you know, it's a lot. And I just don't think they're going to spend it in January. It needs to be spent. I mean, I think it needs to be spent in January now because we're not going to get into Europe if we don't spend in January. That's my opinion. I don't know where you all sit on that. Hello to everyone coming into the comment section now, just saying hi. Yep, we're already well into it. Hit me with the players right now. We're talking players who you think are realistically available in January because I think the summer's too late. Because of the way we're playing at the moment, I don't expect us to finish anywhere near that top 6 right now. People have argued against me, saying you're just jumping the gun. I'm not. I'm looking at 2 wins in 13 Premier League games, averaging less than a goal a game this season, even after a 4-0 win on the opening day. This isn't great form. So my realistic vision and my thoughts and predictions right now are, unless we do spend in January, then we got no chance of making any European football. And by any, I mean even the Europa League. I still think that even if we do spend a lot of money in January, that we're not going to get into the Champions League. So I'm looking at Europa League as our realistic target. Let's be honest, that is where we're at right now and what we're aiming for. If anyone disagrees, let me know. That's what we're doing. That's what we're on here for. We want the conversation. We want everyone to get involved and let me know. Quickly, let's do a super chat from Ali Bafa. Would rather not spend money and wait for Poch to spend it. Yes, swinging straight over, straight away. Not one person's come out with a player so far. What's going on, people? Am I missing something here? Have you got no hope of signing anyone this? I will put you all off just by saying what I said about the January window and us saving money. God, I don't know. I mean, it comes on to, I mean, you've seen it on my poster on the thumbnail of this actual video, and I made 3 options there. Do we actually trust in this club? Like the guy who's arguing with me on Twitter, saying that even without European football, United are still going to get the sponsorship deals that they've always had. There's always one big deal. May well be, but when you're not in the Champions League for so many seasons, not spending that money, then you're not going to keep getting the big deals because there's no appeal. He's talking about a Super European League coming in. That isn't going to happen. These people, deluded. That's all I can say. In the nicest possible way. I love having conversations, but when you're calling me out saying that my argument is stupid, then I'm just going to come straight back at you with facts. And facts are, this club is riddled with debt, with owners who don't want to spend any of the money that comes in from any sort of sponsorship deal, let alone the big ones that this guy's expecting. But I mean, realistic target. Let's get back to it. January, Maddison, you could get. Phil just mentioned that one there in the comments. Maddison definitely is a player. I put it on the poster. You seen it? Maddison, Dembele from Lyon. 2 areas of the pitch that we are desperately in need of. A striker who can score 20 goals a season. Martial as a central role, maybe it will happen, I don't know. Is Ollie going to have the balls to actually drop Rashford from that central role and bring in a striker, or even put Martial there for some time, or even play Greenwood now and then? I mean, where are we at with Greenwood right now? I mean, are we even confident that Ollie is going to change Rashford, even if we did bring a striker in? Or is he too stubborn in his ways to actually go out and get someone who we obviously need? Maddison in midfield is a no-brainer. Box to box, quality on the ball, gets stuck in, and he's a level above what we've got right now. I don't know what you guys think about that, but I do think Maddison is a quality above what we've got. Will he come into our team and change things, or will he, like a lot of the players that come in, the free players that are coming this summer, who have been good at the start, but we're seeing now the sort of decline already in their form? Are we dragging their sort of form down from what they started the season with, just by the tactics, by the mentality of these current players? Is that where we're going with that? Would Maddison fall into that trap as well? Do we need to bring in more players just so we can put more players in to counteract that? Because right now, I said it before, there's 4 players that I'm confident with who will do a job for us. That would be the 3 new players, Spizaka, James, Maguire, and obviously De Gea in goal. His form has been off, but we do know what he's got, and he has done it before in worse circumstances. So they're the 4 players I know will definitely put in something for us and produce in terms of quality, because they've shown it already this season. Yeah, there's plenty of players who would actually put in a shift for us, but shifts aren't good enough right now. Rolling your sleeves up is just part of it. Rolling your sleeves up and having some end product and actually doing your job in your position is what is, well, that's more important right now, because we've got strikers who can't score goals, we've got midfielders who can't pass the ball, and we've got defenders who, I don't know, every game we seem to just let one shot that comes past them goes in. I mean, it can't. I'm not gonna dig out all the defenders, because that's probably been our best part of our game, to be honest. But you know what I mean. We're just unlucky on that side of it, because every time someone shoots, it just seems to go in. So it can't. I'm not gonna dig out the defenders, but midfield and attack is where we're at the moment. It really is. Let's have a look at some of the other comments while we're getting at it. Paul Robinson, how you doing, Paul, mate? We need a right wing, central defensive midfielder, anchor midfielder, back to box-to-box striker minimum. One more player will just, he's saying there, mate. He's saying one more player in, he's just going to get dragged down into the doom and gloom that is this squad at the moment, like I pretty much said. I totally agree with that, Paul, because it needs 5 or 6 players all playing well, minimum, in this team. We haven't got that at the moment, and players coming into this team now, who are they actually looking up to? We've got 3 players who are new, still trying to find their feet at the club, who are the ones who are shining. When you come into this club, you've got to look to someone to actually aspire to, a player in form, someone who's attracted you to the club to come to us in the first place. And right now you could say, leader. Leader's the word, isn't it? That's the word that we've all been talking about. And the lack of it at United, because there is no captain at that club anymore. There's no one in that. Is there anyone in that team right now you'd be confident you could call a captain in the future? I'm not 100% with that. I'm really not. I don't think there is one there. You could say Maguire in time, but again, like I just said, he's finding his feet. So it's like Paul just said there, then it needs to be more than one player. We can't just go out and buy one single player, because it's just not going to work, is it? One isn't going to fix it, and how is it going to affect that player's form playing with what we've got right now? It's just at a stage where you fear for anyone coming in, unless they're coming in with backup, like 2 or 3 players coming in, mixing with the good players that we've got there now in terms of the new boys from the summer, and actually looking at it, no one with bad habits, no one who's been through this rot the last 6 years, a fresh look. We were hoping that it was going to come through with the youth, but Ollie's kind of threw them in at the deep end, and they've sort of just not made it, or not been quite good enough. I mean, it's not their fault completely, because they've come into a pretty crap situation, to be honest. And it's sort of like right in at the deep end, sink or swim. Axel's come through it okay so far. Greenwood also, but Gomez and Chong have struggled a little bit. 2 more we were hoping that could actually step up. Haven't totally yet. Gomez hasn't had the right chance and opportunity for me. And Chong, he just stunk the place out in the 2 games that he played, and he worked against great opposition. Maybe it was too much for him. Maybe he needs blood in an away game. I don't know. Less pressure than playing at Old Trafford. And again, we can't win away from home, so expectations, where are they going to be? It just rolls on and on and on. So people who are saying, spend big. Spend big in the summer? Who can we get in the summer realistically if we don't actually make the Europa League at least? What have we got to offer? That's the problem for me in terms of spending big. If we was going to spend big, the players that we could get, there are players we can get in January who would change this team, who would definitely change this team instantly. But how are we going to do it? There's rumours of Mandzukic, we've got Dembele, we've got players like Maddison, we're with Bruno Fernandes again, and you know what? Which one? All of them? I don't know. I just don't think that United are going to spend, for me, my opinion, I understand what people are saying in terms of who and what we can do in terms of players we can sign. We need a minimum of 3 players, a lot of people are saying. But I just don't see it. I just don't see them spending the money that people think that we should be spending, or people know we should be spending, because they just don't want to spend the money. They want to scrape the barrel and basically get what they can, waiting for people on the free. It's why people like Mandzukic have been mentioned. If we're in for Mandzukic, it's embarrassing, because we should have just bought him in the summer when he was available, and he could have just been bedded in. I don't know. I really don't know with Mandzukic. He could really do a job for us. You know what? If we'd have bought him in the summer, I probably would have understood it. I really would, because, you know what I mean? We haven't got a target man. We haven't got anyone who can head a ball up front. He is both of them. He can hold the play up. Rashford can't hold the play up. Maybe he would have linked with Rashford better. Maybe he would have suited some of our attacking fast front players, Martial, Rashford, James. He might have been able to link up with them, but how far behind are we going to be by the time January comes? There's another question. You know what I mean? We could bring all these players in. It could be a complete waste of time. There's a few messages going through here. I'm just going to try and catch up with a few people, because I know you're all trying to get on there as well. Viking Red, Adam, who are they buying then? They're bankrupt. Who's bankrupt? United? Oh, the Glazers. I just watched the Tampa Bay Buccaneers play the Panthers at Tottenham Stadium before. Yeah, they look in pretty similar state, and it has been mentioned before. I think a few people have talked to me on Twitter about this. You need to mention the fact that we're just going down the exact same road that the Buccaneers have done under the ownership of the Glazers. It's a sorry state of affairs the way that they've just dragged that team. Coming big, they got the Super Bowl like they did United. Coming big, got the Champions League, got the Premier League, and then it just went gradually off the scale into the abyss and nowhere, not even relevant in terms of American football. It is a very similar sort of situation with us right now. We are just slowly declining, and there has to be a point now where, because American football, they're not going to get relegated. They're always going to be there. They're always going to be in the mix all the time. Football is different in England. If we, for instance, get relegated, I know that our word is coming in again, but there is a possibility that with our form, it is relegation form. Say, for instance, we did, then it's a different scenario. People saying the Glazers would still try and keep hold of United and try and drag as much out of them as they can. I think they've lost the value now. I mean, Ed Woodward took over, and the Glazers put Ed Woodward in charge, and they took over United, and the most powerful, one of the richest and most expensive clubs, most profitable clubs in the world. If they took United down into the Championship, then that would pretty much you got to say that's got to destroy them in terms of reputation. Especially Ed Woodward, anything to do with a football club, that would absolutely destroy him. You know what? Just to see that sort of look on Ed Woodward's face, if he did take and knew it was under his watch that all happened and that went down, you know what, that'd be a little bit of a bittersweet sort of scenario, because I don't think he'd get a job in football again having done that. With all the tools he's got at United, yeah, great off the pitch, but under his watch, this club went down and down and down, and it was all down to him and his management of the managers, the players that were brought in. We've heard Mourinho talking that it's certain players he didn't want. He didn't want Fred. There was no way he wanted Fred. The only reason he brought Fred in was because he was scared there was no one else going to come in. He knew what was needed. We all kicked off about Mourinho. I still don't think he was. I think the time was right for him. I thought it was just a case of it was just so sour and bitter around the club. We all needed picking up. And at the time, I still back what I said about him going. It probably was the right decision. But looking back on what Mourinho said now, it does look like a lot of stuff that he has said is actually right and spot on with a lot of things. But that's then. This is now. We're trying to figure out a way we can get out of this. Christina says we need a minimum 300 million investment. I can't see them paying that money. No, considering they're talking 100, 220 million for Maddison, what's Bruno Fernandes going to be worth? If you're going for Dembele, what's that? 50 plus? Then you're hitting nearly 200 million there in two. And that's the quality of player we need. I mean, I just can't see them spending it. I really can't. So, in terms of where we're at with this live video and the topic of spend big, I'm going to wipe it out. I just don't see us spending big. So, we move on from spending big, which I don't think is going to happen, like I said. We move on to the manager. Would a manager actually make the difference? Zach says Ollie will get sacked after Sunday. I think he's expecting us to get beat off Liverpool by that comment. I think I'm right, Zach, maybe, yeah. It's now at a stage of, realistically, like I just said then, can't see the Glazers, Ed Woodward, letting this club drop to a state of relegation battle. It will be a relegation battle if Ollie continues with this method of training, style of football, man management on the pitch, allowing too many thoughts and heads into the technical area in terms of what is going on. I just think too many people are saying too much and he's just not putting his own plans across. When he came in, it was clear. It was clear Ollie had a plan. He came in, no one had any chance to question him really about his tactics and what he was doing. You could see that. He came in, bang, straight away, attacking football, 4-3-3, players playing where they should do, players playing with freedom. And then it seems as soon as he got that job, that Carrick, whether it be McKenna, Phelan, now they've thought, right, now we're in a role here now. We've got a full-on time job here. I want to try and put myself in the window. This is what we should be doing. That's what we should be doing. It just seems like that to me. I don't know if it's coming across that way to anyone else, but it just seems that there's too many ideas coming in. there's one man in charge, that's the manager, the buck falls with him. He's taking the flack off his own staff, I think, because there's not enough experience and there's not enough the technical prowess in that management team, in that coaching staff to actually, to give credit to, you could say, for a club like United. The way that the Glazers and Ed Woodward talk and tried to put United across as this juggernaut, this huge club, is that a coaching staff on the sideline which blasts out quality to you? No, not for me. It really isn't. So we're on the manager situation now, people. Where are we at? Where are we at? Let me see. What are you saying? Let's just get through a few of these. Wow, just had loads of comments all come through at once. Let's just try and get through a few of these. Paul Lucas, Woodward has failed us since taking over from Gill. What makes us think he's going to go? What makes us think he's going to do or go get something right? Yeah, I have no confidence in that, mate, whatsoever. Reece Taylor, a new manager will only be good enough to achieve 7th this season at best. Even if Ollie was to go after Liverpool. Yeah, I know, mate. I actually do think the Glazers and Ed Woodward would just put in a new manager now to get that little bit of a manager boost, a new manager boost, taking us just through to the end of the season safely. That's where I think they're at with that right now. That's just my realistic thought on that. I don't know where you guys are at with that, but I think they would just do that just to stop us going even further down, because they don't want to say it. None of the ex-players want to say it. None of the pundits want to say it. A few of them have done it. I've been brave enough to say it. None of the ex-United have said it. And that is the fact that United, on this form, it's relegation fodder. There's no question about it. I don't care what anyone says. I'm not just spouting it. I've said this before in the previous videos from last week after my thoughts after the Newcastle game. If you're averaging less than one goal a season, if you're averaging less than 1 goal a game on form of 2 wins in 13, heading into Liverpool at home, followed by 4 away games in 3 different competitions, having not won an away game since March, February in Champions League and League, then what is wrong with saying that this is relegation form? It is relegation form. If it continues, we're in a relegation battle. That's how I'm putting it across. The realistic look on it. I'm not just saying it because we got beat by Newcastle. I'm saying it because we can't score. I'm saying it because it doesn't look like we've got a midfield. I'm saying it because the tactics don't look like they don't look like they're of this era. They don't look like the Premier League standard. And you're looking for inspiration in terms of coming off the bench, and we're into squad depth, and that is bad. That isn't big enough. So that's where I'm at with that. Would a new manager right now change all of that? I mean, I've put it out there. I did a video the other day about managers. You've seen it all. I put 3 or 4 names in the hat. For me, sacking Ollie right now would only be right if we had the right manager there ready to replace him. Because I don't want a knee-jerk reaction of just bringing anyone in. Yeah, they might do well and get off to a quick start like Ollie did, but we've seen that happen now. We've seen what happens when we've got an interim manager who's got the freedom, who can just go out and implement his plans as easy as he wants and with his freedom and do whatever he wants, what Ollie did at the start. But then he got the job. He was tied down to whatever contractual negotiations and everything else was put in place by the hierarchy, the people ahead of people above him, and it all went peaked on completely, and it's just on a downward spiral now, and I can only see one inevitable outcome from it, and that's obviously the dreaded sack for Ollie. But would a new manager coming in right now, unless it was the right manager for me, no, it wouldn't make a difference. It would just paper over cracks. Do we need to just roll out with Ollie? I mean, I don't want to see us lose like you guys do. There's so many people on my channel, and there's a lot of people in the comment section already saying, just get rid of Ollie now. It's just too late. It's enough. I think in any other top club in Europe, Ollie would have been gone. I do agree with that. It is too much, especially for a club of United stature, or a club who actually class themselves as one of the biggest. Then this form, 12th in the league, heading into a Liverpool game that no one is confident about, then heading into them 4 away games when we could be completely out of the Carabao Cup, another avenue to Wembley. The Wembley trips look a mile away now, like it's a million miles away that we can actually get a cup run. But that's where it is right now. That's the realistic look on it, and that is, you can't really argue with it, to be honest, because it is real. It's what's happening right now. Who is available manager-wise? Who do you guys want in? A few people have already said wait it out until Poch is available. Ideally, that's probably where I would go with it. That's where my head's sort of swaying in terms of the management situation right now. Poch is the man for me. Personally, I do think I said it in my previous video, I'm not counting this season and what's happened. I'm looking at the fact that he hasn't been given any sort of budget and got that team to the Champions League final. He can run a team and find talent. He can make it happen on a budget, which he has proved. So where are you guys at? Where is your manager? Who is your manager that can actually change this right now if you did want to bring someone in? Rafe616, how you doing, mate? No manager will make a difference until Woodward. Woodward is fucked off, basically, he's saying. Yeah, I agree with that totally. Are they going to go? This is the conundrum I see. The only way Ed Woodward goes for me is if the worst case scenario happens, which is relegation. Then we look to rebuild. But then, would you get the manager that we want? This is where we're at. Do we want the right manager under Ed Woodward? Or do we want Ed Woodward out, drop down, and then risk having to come up from the Championship if we can't get the right manager because it's not as an appealing proposition, not as an appealing job, because you're not going to get the funds to spend in the Championship. Yeah, you'll get funds to spend on Championship players, but Poch isn't going to go down into the Championship, which brings up a point and sort of contradicts myself in a way in saying we've got to wait it out until the end of the season. We could be relegated at the end of the season. Then we wouldn't get Poch, and then we're looking at a Championship sort of manager, and then it's in a whole world of pain. Yes, Ed Woodward might have gone, and it might be all for the greater good in the long term, but it is a massive, massive risk. It's just why, in my opinion, I don't see Solskjaer lasting the season. Unless there's a drastic turnaround, we spend 400-500 million in January and get back up into the top half of the table. People have said to me, Shaw will come back, Bizaka will come back, Paul Pogba, Anthony Martial will be a miles better team. Was we that much better with them players in the team? Well, we had them all for Crystal Palace at home and we lost, creating absolutely nothing. So what's changed? Ole Solskjaer wants to build a team around a player that wants to leave. He said it. It was clear that he didn't want to be at the club, but Solskjaer wants to build a team around that. So there for me is a massive negative on Ole Solskjaer straight away. I'm thinking, is that the right way to go? Because he's just looking at it all the wrong way for me. It's the only thing Ole Solskjaer can do now is just go back, play 4-3-3 and go for it. There's absolutely nothing right now. He can't be clever. He's not got the squad to be clever with certain games and tactics. Just go out and play attacking football and take a risk. Take risks. Play a 4-3-3. Play 3 at the back, 5 in the middle, wing backs, 2 up front, 4-4-2, dropping into a 4-5-1 when the opposition's got the ball. He has to go attacking. There's no other way around it. Our defence cannot rely on that forward line to get 1 goal every single game and then hold on. We need 2 goals in a game. Martial has to play when he comes back. Martial and Rashford maybe as a 2 when he comes back. Greenwood should come in. Do we buy a striker in January and play the 2? All comes in. Peter Perry says Allegri. Every time I mention Allegri, you look at the positives, you think, yeah, and then it just gets totally counteracted by people who watch a lot of Italian football and say, he's Italian, he's too negative, he's not going to be what United want right now. The fans want something different. The fans want to actually watch some football. Yeah, positions and staying in the league and getting back in the top half of the table, top 6 is massive, but we do want something to watch. I mean, at the moment, I'm just wasting money. I'm wasting money away at the moment watching United. You know, we had travel everywhere. I mean, it's not easy. It's not cheap following United. And, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, I won't mind a 3-2 loss, as long as there's a bit of excitement and something to share. It's just... It's where you go. If someone like Allegri came in, would it stink out the place? I heard Big Sam talking the other day on the radio saying that what he would do is you've got to come in, you've got to play full-on defensive football. Seriously. That's what people want. Defensive football, and then wait, and hopefully you'll take a chance to snatch a 1-0, and then you build from there. Has he ever built from there? He's not. So what happens if you put someone like Big Sam in, and then you get to stabilising? What then? He's going to want a contract. Do you hire someone for a few months? And it's just not how you want to work it. As a club with ambition, you don't do or make decisions or put people in place like Big Sam. You just don't. It's just not even on the agenda. Sam, gone. Not even a conversation on this channel. It's not happening. Sorry, people, there's a few of you who actually wanted Big Sam. It's just no. It's just too Mike Bassett for me, and I'm not having it at all. It's just no way forward. Allegri, there is a shout for it. There is disciplined. I was talking about Bielsa from Leeds. I mean, a lot of people have bigged up Bielsa, not just because he's Leeds. I mean, I said he's just at champion standard at the moment, and he's happy there. He did do a great job at Bilbao. I mean, he handed it to us, let's be honest, didn't he? You've got the Chile Argentina jobs. I mean, he has done some big roles. He has got big team experience and big stage experience, and he's a disciplinarian. You've seen his breakdowns of what he does. It was well documented last season, what he was like. Someone like that, similar ilk to Van Gaal, I would say. I said that in the previous video again. It is a manager that would give them a kick up the arse. He would bring in his whole team as well, which would be a bit of a bonus because, let's be honest, none of us are really getting inspired by that bench at the moment and the staff that are on it by United. As much as I love them, I have to just be real, and right now I'm looking at it going, where is the inspiration and thought and ideas coming from? That's my issue. Mark Fenner, a regular. How you doing, Mark, mate? You okay, pal? Mark says, if they want a target man in January, go for Andy Carroll or Fellaini. Mark, yeah, I'm glad you put LOL on the end of that one, mate. Shut up. That's all I can say. Behave. I mean, even Lille United's laughing at the thought of Bielsa. Where are we honestly at? This is where United fans are right now. There's so many thoughts and people arguing and debating, not so much arguing but disagreeing all the time at the moment. We're just in a complete and utter flux of chaos that no one knows what is right now. It just needs maybe someone like oh God, I mean, it's bringing someone from Leeds and all that, and it's not going to go down well. And there are arguments of people, I've seen it in my comments between different people commenting on videos saying we can't have this guy because he's simply just played or worked at this club. There were fans like that, so there's always going to be issues between the fans and who is right for this club and who is not. But the end of the day is we just have to get real now. We need someone in who is going to actually just get a hold of this squad and just say, look, this is what it's going to take right now. This is what we need right now. You need to get your act together. And it's a disciplinarian. Would that be the right way? Someone like Van Gaal, Bielsa mode. It's still Poch for me. It really is. It is still Poch, and it's made for him, this job. But I fear if we try and hang on for him, where we might end up this season. That's my worry. That is my biggest worry of all. Let's get into a few more of these comments. Ziggins is back. How you doing, mate? Poch has never really had experience with money. He's not proven with funds, Big Sam and Wenger, and you people crazy. Yeah, these people are crazy, mate. I would never take Big Sam, but Poch, no, he's unproven with money. But then again, how much money are we going to have to spend? You know what I mean? He's the one who sort of brought in Dele Alli, made him into a player. Eriksen was cheap when he came into Spurs. He's turned him into an even better player. I've looked at things that Poch has done in terms of his coaching, and he has made players, I think, rather than needed proven quality in bringing in a quality player. He's spotted talent. He's made talent. He's not been afraid to drop players. I think he's just completely frozen out Dyer from that midfield. I know he's brought him back now, but the club is in chaos. Not so much chaos, but in terms of the staff, dressing room and everything around that side of it, it is pretty much in complete chaos right now. Poch, he's always going to be my man. I do think that he is the right fit for United. And like I said, he makes players. Said wants Wenger. Said wants Wenger. Said wants a lot of things at the moment. He's not a happy man. I can tell you that. He's not just on his videos he's coming across that way. It's in private conversations as well. He's not happy. I'll probably see him tomorrow as well, and it'll probably be the same story again. That should be an interesting video tomorrow because we've not had as much to moan about, but still, we are going to break it down and talk about something. I'm sure Ollie will be brought up in that. Poch hasn't won things agreed, but he might do with us. We got to take the risk, I think. That was from Mark again. What else have we got coming here? You're all coming in so fast, I'm going to have to snip to the phone just to catch up with everything. Said wants to slap, Paul Robinson said. He was laughing on the end of that side. If you do catch any part of this video, mate, he's only joking. Settle down. It's okay. It's okay. Given the midfield conundrum, what are your thoughts on developing Axel Tunes? I know developing Axel as a defensive midfielder. A few people have said this. No, I'm not for it. I'm sorry. I just like to play players where they play. It's simple as that with me. I just don't like making a player play in a different situation. I hated Valencia coming into right, but I hated Young even when they played well. It's a cop-out. Stop trying to change the way players play and what they are. This is what Ollie's doing right now. He's playing Pereira on the right wing because United cannot buy a right winger. It doesn't work. Its proof is in the pudding. It really is. United's worst right back in how many years? Ashley Young, agreed? Yeah, good servant, done what he's told, done whatever it's taken to actually be in the United team and just said whatever the manager wants. No. You know what I mean? Valencia, again, one good season, maybe. He's a right winger. For God's sake, just the two wingers. United's been so inept in the transfer window. We've not been able to buy a right winger. We've not been able to get the right back. Only now we've got Bissaka, which is good. But still, I'm not for that changing players and making them into something else. I'm really not. It's like Rashford now. He was a winger. A winger in the youth team. He's now being made to be this world-beating striker. He's not a striker. Simple as that. He's not a striker. Play him on the right or play him on the left. I guarantee you give Southgate Sterling, Kane and Rashford as a front three. There's no way Rashford is staking a claim for that central role. He's on the right-hand side. Deal with it. If you don't like playing there, go the same way as Lukaku. This is the type of manager that needs to come in now. So maybe it is a strict disciplinarian who needs to come in. After all, I keep calling it out. And he needs a firm hand. It needs to be players played where they can play. If not, you've got to go sit on the sideline and have a little word with yourself. And someone else comes in. That's the player you should be buying. Look at the players you've got for each position right now. We've got a left back. We've got a right back. We've got plenty of centre backs. Axel is one of them. He should not move from there. Then you look at the centre midfield. We haven't got one good enough. We've got Pogba. Does he want to be there? We'll find out at the end of the season. That could be three central midfielders in Fellaini, Pogba and Herrera within a season, just over a season, that have left. So what does that mean? We need four? Or are we going to start bringing in and clinging on to Mato? Pereira, Fred, who can't pass water. You know what I mean? No. I think I've gone over the top with the changing player positions there, mate. Sorry. You know, you got me. You got me going on it. I've just seen a comment from Niz come up. Just want to bring yours up, Niz, there. Niz, constantly replies to me and always talks in. It's just why I'm picking out this question. Obvious choice, Adam. Get rid of Ed Woodward, the virus that has plagued United since Fergie retired. Then the club can get back to recovery. Will the Glazers ever get rid of Woodward? That is my problem with that. It really is. I mean, Woodward is a plague. He is a virus. He cannot do this job. He has no football background whatsoever, but the guy bleeds money for the Glazers, and that's all that matters. The only way Ed Woodward goes is if we get relegated, and under his watch, he's the one who's took United, one of the richest and most profitable clubs in the world, like I said before, down into the Championship. Then we might not get the manager we want. That's the problem, and I just don't see him going. As much as we want him gone, I don't. He'll probably turn and make some money out of this whole situation for the Glazers, and then still show black in the book to the shareholders, and everything looks good on them on the financial side of it, and that's all that matters. And he's got another job safe for another amount of years. If he can actually turn around the profit from this situation now, then credit to him in terms of a businessman or CEO, whatever you want to say, in terms of money making. The unfortunate thing for us is that him and his power trip that he's on, he's simply never ever going to leave United, is he? He's the man there. He controls the club, and everything runs through him. He's just like the Glazers' go-to puppet in terms of, we need to make some certain amount of money out of a certain time period. Go ahead, go see what you can do. Next sponsorship deal comes through the door, pot noodle, whatever it is, some crap copy tyre brand or whatever, or some betting company. Bang, there's your money. That deal's done and dusted. Happy days. Keeps him in the job. Simple as that. Is just the way it is, and that's how it's always going to be. I just don't see it changing. This relegation would. God, you just got to think, haven't you? Would we be able to get straight back up from relegation? We should be able to, if we went down and Ed Woodward went. I just don't see the Glazers letting United get to that stage, which is why Ollie's going to get sacked. Said it. It's just the way it is going to be. I just can't see it any other outcome from this season or the way it's going right now. Dylan Western, Woodward helped the Glazers buy MU for 200 million. Some notes. No way he will be sacked. It's like I just said, mate. He just literally bleeds money for the Glazers. He's just a cash machine for him, and I think the daughters took money out now. I think someone actually posted or commented, spoke to me the other day, saying since Malcolm Glazer died, the dad, the payments back off the loan stopped. That's when it all started to go Pete Tong, really, in terms of actually hitting the debt and paying the debt off. They seem to have just funded their own ventures elsewhere. We hardly ever see them. It's not like they've got a dad to answer to now. So it's like a whole family of kids going crazy in a kitchen when mum and dad leave, taking out whatever they want for tea and supper. It's going to be all the sweets and all the good stuff, and actually none of the stuff that really needs to be eaten, because there's no one there to discipline them. They've just got free reign of United, this cash generator, and they just got it's a free for all. And this is where we're at the moment. This is what it seems, and that was a point that I actually listened to that comment and thought, you know what, they've got a good point there. When the cat's away, the mice will play as such, and no daddy to answer to, and they've just gone crazy. The fact that the daughter came in and did what she did and took her money out of there, that was just an absolute joke. But that's right, since Malcolm Glazer did die, there's been no money paid back off that loan and off the debt of the club. There was general payments being made to it. I'm not saying it was great. I'm not saying that I'm letting them off the hook in any way, shape or form, but there was actual money being paid off when Malcolm Glazer was in sole charge, and he just had the family doing his work. Since then, downhill, I'm afraid. Marc-André van der Biel, that is a name, that, mate. The Glazers are sucking this club dry to the bone. Should we drop down to the relegation zone? Ed Woodward get Big Sam or shoe famous Gorman? Yeah, no, mate. I don't. I think Ed Woodward would go if we did get relegated, but I'm just struggling to see someone like Big Sam or someone of that sort of quality managing Manchester United in the Championship. That is the problem I've got right now. I just don't want to see it. Low United, we need to boycott all games. Glazers out. Boycotting would never work, in my opinion, mate, because people would just fill our seats. And it's like you said now, I think I've been frozen out by United. I just don't get any correspondence from them at all. I apply for all the away games. I just don't get anything back from the club. They don't even tell me if I've actually won an away ticket in the ballot anymore. I've rang them 4 times. I get the same story every single time. I know for a fact that someone I know went to United. So let's just say he applied for tickets for the Newcastle game just gone. Didn't get them. And then he got a phone call a day before saying there's tickets become available. When he got there, he got the tickets for the Newcastle game. And while he was there, he was asked by a member of staff behind the counter, oh, do you want Norwich away as well? Because he didn't win in that one. United are supposed to ring people who have applied in the ballot. Me, especially, apply every single game and let them tickets be available to them. It's lazy. The whole club, everything about the club at the moment is lazy. It really is. And they just want to be seen to be making good noises and doing the right thing, but really in practice they don't do anything. They don't do anything. It's just what it is at the moment with United. There's nothing that is good coming out of the club. There's no good news at all. And I don't know, maybe they've seen my channel and just blacklisted me or something like that. I don't get anything anymore. I did. I used to all the time and my details haven't changed. So you tell me what's going on. Someone's lying. Definitely. Let's see what else we got. Bernie, how you doing, Bernie, mate? Would you take relegation for a year or two if we are sold? Drastic, I know. No, mate. A lot of people are saying the same thing. The value is dropping, so that's good news. Yeah, the value of the club is dropping. Like I said at the start of this video, I was talking and arguing, no, not so much arguing, debating with a guy on Twitter about him saying that United don't need to be in the Champions League to earn the money from the sponsors. It's a load of crap, because without the Champions League straight away, Adidas clause kicks 30% of the actual sponsorship deal out. So complete slap down, mate, there for you. It's just a stupid comment to make. And like I said at the start, he was talking about Chelsea, City, Liverpool not being in the Champions League and still getting their deals. If you think their deals are anywhere near United's, and realistically measuring them against United's deals, then you're crazy in the first place, and you're crazy to think that they're any different, that they're actually the same as United, because they haven't got the owners we've got with the debt that they've lumped on this club. So it's a completely different situation. It just doesn't work the same with United. It's just deluded if you think that. This is the guy who thinks that European Super League is going to happen as well. Yeah, I know, God. Leslie Lyle, for MU to be relegated is unthinkable, but definitely not impossible with this current form. Said it myself, mate, exactly the same. We should be talking about it because it's where we are right now. A defeat to Liverpool, which is very, very possible, and a few teams below us actually win or get a draw even. We're basically in that. We're in that relegation battle. It's as simple as that, and you can't deny it. Hateme EA, Adam, I worry for the direction and the future of our beloved football club. You're not the only one worrying, mate. I think everyone in the comment section, me myself, we're all worried about what is going to happen. It is a state of desperation now, would you say? That's what it seems. We're just going to get slapped for any transfer we want to make. I just like I just said then, the club will try and make, or seem to be making, the right noises just to appease the fans, and they've struggled this international break to bring anything out, because there's no news that they've been able to cover up, because when there's nothing to talk about football wise, obviously everyone goes in on the owners and the way the club's being run. There's nothing else to talk about. We're pretty much doing that right now, and they usually bring out a contract extension or some other news just to cover it up. The club are even struggling to get hold of anything now to cover things up. They're in that much of a dire strait 44, I got banned from the Daily Mail for commenting on Man City. United are just like City, big babies. Yeah. Yeah, mate, I mean, it's reality, isn't it? I mean, it could well be exactly the same scenario with me and the club. I don't know. I'm just guessing, but something's changed. I'm not going to say it's not, because it has, and it's not right. I don't think it's right, but what can I do? This is the way the football clubs treat the fans these days. It's just what it is. There's nothing you can do about it. I mean, they'll always find someone to replace you, and you're just not important to them. They do nothing for the fans, this club, and I'm probably just digging myself a bigger hole by talking about it, I know, but I can't help it. I'm not going to just sit here and be happy with how everything is going. Scrappy Red Devil, nothing will change until we get a director of football, and a director of football that has to ask for permission. Yeah, that's another point, isn't it? If you've got a director of football that needs to keep asking Ed Woodward, then what's the point in having a director of football? You know what I mean? He's put into a role, he needs to be given free rein, like he says, and not restricted. Otherwise, it's pointless again. I know. There's United again. It's all very well Ed Woodward and the Glazers saying we are going to back Ollie in the January transfer window, but we are in October. If we're carrying on losing games, yeah, exactly what I said. It's where we're going to be by the time January comes, Niz. It's exactly the problem. It's that we could be in the relegation zone, and then what we're looking at, people looking at United, and I know there's still going to be some appeal for some players, but you know what I mean? What is attracting about a team that's in relegation that has a manager who doesn't know what he's doing or look like he's got control of the players? You don't really want to be going into that, do you? I mean, you want to come to United when they're fighting on all cylinders, not when they're battling and looking like they're on the edge of the footballing abyss. I mean, that's where we look at the moment. Fezza69, look, you're going to beat Liverpool. I'm putting money on it. You heard it right here. Liverpool, ooh, that is a shout. I know where people are coming from with Liverpool. It'd just be like United to beat them, but then go into the Norwich game after that and just get their arses handed to them again. It really would. But I think this time, my heart's saying it's Liverpool United and we need to stand up and be counted. My head's saying we've just got a team full of jelly babies who just aren't up for the fight and haven't got the bottle to stand up and wear that red shirt. That's just honestly where I'm at. Van der Sar said Viking Red. I take it that's for director of football, mate. Would take that tomorrow, mate, if you offered it me. But like previous comments said then, as long as he gets to do his job properly and isn't restricted, that's the way and that's the fear that a lot of the fans are at the moment. Because yeah, we all want certain things. We all want the right player, but he's going to play in the right position. We've got a manager who doesn't seem to do that. Then we're thinking, right, we need a director of football, but then we've got owners and a CEO who want to still have their say and not let him do his job as he should. That's where we're at. That's the problem. That is the problem. Experience and will pay jelly babies. No, sorry, I'm just laughing at some other people's comments there. Back on it, let's see. Rob, Adam. Liverpool and Norwich, I'm not confident. No, I'm totally with you, Rob, mate. I'm not confident one bit whatsoever, but I'm here to be surprised. I will be there both times, jumping around, singing, doing everything I can on match day to get behind the boys, whoever's playing, cheer on the team. I'll do my moaning and criticising after the game as I always do. I have no negative vibes. Well, at the game, it's just a case of try and give them as much support as possible to break them out of this funk that they're in right now. Or is it just a case I'm wasting my breath because they're just not good enough? A lot of people would go down that road, I think, to be honest. We can't hand any more contracts out, Adam. Bernie Foyle again. No, these contract negotiations, I'll tell you one that will happen. No, that will be Jesse Lingard. You heard that here. Break it down, let's be honest. Is Jesse Lingard going to say no to any contract that's offered him? No. Are United and Ed Woodward going to let Jesse Lingard go on a free at the age of 27? English and has some sort of value to them? No, they're not going to let him go. So what is going to happen? The inevitable, and that is get the new contract, 3 or 4 year deal, something like that, sending him into his 30s. Another player who has been a complete and utter nightmare and failure at United. He had one good season, scored some important goals, yes, but that's not good enough and never has been good enough for United. But he will go into a testimonial bleeding year if he gets a new contract. Like Young, like Smalling, Jones, all these players. I mean, Phil Jones just epitomises what is wrong with United right now. The fact that the player cannot manage to hit 15 games on average a season playing for United. He's been here for 9 years. That is appalling. It is appalling, and everything that is wrong with United right now. If we go another 8 games playing the same way with the same results, can you really see Ollie keeping his job? That's from Rafe. No, I can't, mate. I just said that myself. I don't see him lasting out till Christmas on this form. If he turns it around, then yeah, we're all jumping up and down and we're all eating our words. I will eat my own. I just said it in the summer when he didn't buy anyone. Everyone came at me for saying he can't throw his players under the bus, he can't say they're not good enough and all this and all that. I said it. I said these players will let him down and throw him under the bus way before he actually gets any tune out of them. He's seen it last season. It's why I fully backed Ollie, thinking that this was the summer he was going to come in and say, I need 5 players if I'm going to get rid of 8. I need 5 quality players in. He's a minimum too short from what he should have had already. I do understand that you cannot get everything done in one summer. Lukaku said he wanted to leave at the end of last season. Pogba said he wanted to leave into the first week of the summer. They knew this was happening. They knew he needed changes. He said it himself after the Everton game. He knew that changes needed to be made. And preparations should have been put in place while the season was going on. A director of football should have been put in place last season towards the end when we had nothing to fight for or no issue. I won't say no issues, but you know what I mean? There was nothing else going on. We didn't have to talk about contracts or buying or selling players while the transfer window was shut. Get the director of football in then, but no, everything was okay, Ole. I knew this was coming. I knew it. Anthony Lomax, these players are confused after... Oh, he's just gone off my screen, sorry, mate. These players are confused after all the different managers they've had. Bad habits, mate. Said it. All the bad habits. But one thing that does happen when a new manager comes in, which all the players are going to keep going with, especially the crap ones, is, oh, they need another summer, which gives them another season at least at the club. And by that time, the manager's probably gone again because the same players are just shit and keep letting him down. The fact that I backed Ollie last season because he came in middle of the way through the season, he had the chance, the perfect chance to see these players fail and what they were made of. And I thought, yes, this is the right decision. Even if Ollie isn't going to be the manager that wins us stuff and takes us forward, he is the start of getting rid of a lot of these players. I just did not expect him to not bring anyone in. That was the only thing. Everything else he did in the summer was right for me. It just looked like he had the right tactics in pre-season. The games, we won every game. And as soon as the season started, it just went right back into his shell. And you can't say it's a lie, but it's bordering on that. It's bordering on that sort of line in terms of what he did in the summer. He's just led us a merry race, and it's running out for him. He's actually running out of time, Ollie, and it's just inevitable what is going to happen. Let me see, what else have we got here before we finish up? Yes, Adam, cheers, Christina. Redeem yourself, Rashford, and accidentally injure Van Dijk for the season. Watch the Scousers crumble. I would never wish anyone any injury, but I think if there was one way Liverpool were going to blow this, it would be a player of that sort of ilk who did get injured. Someone like a Van Dijk, or maybe a Mane out for a few weeks. I do think Mane's better than Salah. That's my own opinion, but someone like that would go, then that would be the only way, I think. Big Sam on the back phone says Scousegate. Yeah, Scousegate, sod off. No, we're not having him. I don't mean go, mate. I just mean forget that. We're not getting Big Sam. It's not happening. Zach Lazari, there is one thing Ollie could do to save himself. Get rid of his inept coaching staff. We talked about that earlier, actually. And it all comes down to the conversation that we keep having and brought up in so many different ways, that does Ollie have the balls to actually get rid of his mates, drop his mates, that being on the pitch, that being his coaching staff? That's the big question. Zach, you are spot on. It says clear, Adam. Let things happen. Nothing to lose. Hopefully, more to gain. Yep. Stuart says that there. I mean, yeah. Just go out. Just play football. Stop trying to be too clever. You're not good enough. Cheers, Adam. Paul, great show. Paul's not here, mate. I don't know what you're on about. Never mind. But yeah, cheers, little mate. No one is coming in January. Ollie and the board will wax lyric about returning injured players and get no new players. Yeah, I can see that. Top channel, Adam Skelski. Cheers, mate. Thank you. It is, mate. It's as I'm convinced that is what is going to happen. Players coming back to injury, they're the saviour. The ones who were still contributing to us playing shit before they went injured. So yeah, what's changed? Unless they're going to really pull the sleeves up and surprise me, then yeah. James is injured. Oh my God, is James injured? Has he just played for Wales? I think is he playing right now? Actually, I don't know. Pretty certain. When is Wales? Wales are not playing until, is it Tuesday, I think? But has that news just broke? I don't know. If it is, then we're up shit creek, aren't we? Again, another forward player out. Ollie will turn United into Brexit FC. His next mission is to clear out the foreigners from Manchester United area. Yeah. Well, it does look like he's trying to do that anyway, let's be honest. In terms of players he's brought in, they've all been British. Players that he's got rid of, Byron Smalling, they've all been foreign. Can't handle the egos, it would seem. Shows you his style and his sort of quality in management. If you can't handle an ego, then really you shouldn't be managing Manchester United. I don't like to keep saying things like this, but it is the truth. Jordan Finley, Adam, Ollie won't attack again since we got caught on the counter against Newcastle. That was a big fear that we said that, because we did look like we was changing and was a little bit more optimistic when we went 4-4-2 at Newcastle, but within that spell of going 4-4-2, they did catch us on the break, and that will, like you said, probably put the brakes on everything again, mate. You did right with that. Thanks for keeping us going, Adam, but one day we will be back, that's for sure. It's good night from me. It's good night from him. It's good night from me. Yeah, one day maybe we'll be back. You could listen to Gary Neville's spiel about cycles and stuff like that. In that same conversation, he also said that United would win the league before Liverpool again. Yeah, you're looking like a bit of an idiot there, Gaz, mate. But, alright, it always comes back to haunt you what you say. I know that. Anyway, people, that pretty much sums it up. Everything that we could have gone over. Again, we've gone over. This week coming up now is big. Hopefully we can get through these last few international games with no more injuries. I'm a bit concerned about that news that may have just broke about James. Hopefully that isn't too serious. And hopefully we can... I don't know. How are we supposed to go into this Liverpool game with any confidence? It's where we're at. Let me know what you think, people. You can always comment and leave your comments when the video goes up on the channel after the live stream finishes. Thank you all for coming on and commented. Super chats, everyone getting involved. It is where we're at the moment, and we just need to stick together. We keep talking, we keep doing these videos. Will it ever change? Will we ever have a smile on our face? Some of the jokes and banter going on is what keeps us going. Let's just keep it rolling. Keep it rolling. The support is fantastic as always, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Like, share and subscribe if you are watching for the first time. Like I said, I always say it, we've got plenty coming up. There's loads coming up this weekend. One more international break after this one, then it's full on, pretty much 2 games a week. Is this, let's say, this time next international break, is Ollie going to have a job? This next Q&A is coming up in November, when the next international break is. Will Ollie still have his job? That is the question. I'm going to leave that with you right there. Thank you for everyone and all your lovely comments as always. Have a good rest of this weekend. Sleep well. Monday tomorrow. Exciting. yeah, I don't know what else to say, so I'm going to cut it there, people. Have a good one. I'll speak to you in a week. More videos and other content also coming up. There will be one with Saeed as well from United Central. Maybe a little bit of a twist and a little bit of fun with something there, seems that we've got nothing else to moan about. Catch you guys through the week. Have a good one. See you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.